Hi everyone, Teddy Baldassarre with TeddyBaldassarre.com. In this video, we're looking at a watch from Bulova with the Bulova Hack watch with an Ivory dial. So in this video and on this channel, we cover watches available for purchase on our website, TeddyBaldassarre.com. So in this video, deep dive review of this timepiece, final points of consideration at the end. But if you want to learn more information, check out the link in the description down below to the product page, where you can also purchase the watch and book a time with one of our dedicated watch specialists as well. But guys, let's jump into the video, take a closer look at this watch. Military field watches can be a great gateway style for watch enthusiasts to get their first mechanical watch, particularly on a budget. This style is one of the more versatile ones out there, and therefore quite good value when you're looking at something that can really cover you at every single type of scenario. Looking back to the 1940s during World War II, there were several brands that were supplying watches to the US military and producing field watches, the design known as the A11. One of those brands was with Bulova, and the modern recreation of those designs have really just come together here in a modern package with the Bulova Hack watch, this specific one coming in an ivory dial. So far on this channel, we've covered a few different Bulova Hack options. This particular one is going to lean a little bit farther away from the traditional vintage style of the original models that were going to be produced during World War II. We've also looked at the VWI edition on this channel, which is also a great one to look at if you are interested and want to go for something a bit more traditional in its looks, also having connection to a very nice cause, as well as some other dial variations. Now this one's going to probably present the most modern of looks of all of these options, despite this still, of course, leaning into that classic 1940s field watch style. Now, taking a look at the Bulova Hack Ivory dial variant, we have a case measurement of 40 millimeters across, 13.5 millimeters thick, with 3 millimeters of that height made up by the dome mineral crystal, and a 47 millimeter lug-to-lug distance. Now, these lugs run a bit longer, but it shouldn't be prohibitive for smaller than average wrist sizes around 15.25 centimeters or around 6 inches to really pull this one off. As this piece is inspired by Bulova's military heritage, brush finishes are applied to the entire case with sharp angles defining the case, specifically along the lugs and bezel. Bulova does mix up the finishings just a bit along the left and right sides of the case, where the center section stands out with its vertical brush against the other horizontally brushed finishes. At 3 o'clock, we have a signed push-pull crown with the etched Bulova tuning fork logo. Crown operation is straightforward, hand winding in the first position and then pulling the crown out to the only other point to adjust the time in the process. And like the name will suggest here, this one does feature a hacking seconds feature, so stopping the second hand when pulling out to the farthest position. Situated between the lugs is a black genuine leather NATO strap at a standard 18 millimeters. It's fitted with brushed stainless steel hardware, including the pin buckle. The strap is comfortable, albeit really thin, so there's going to be no break-in, and some of that probably is going to show its age and unfortunate realities as time goes on. But for a watch around $300, I think it does the job, but I would definitely be sampling out different straps to pair with this one. We have quite a few different options on TeddyBaldassarre.com. Transitioning over to the Ivory dial, we start with the outboard minute track with rectangular lume plots at each hour. To the inside of the track are the printed Arabic numeral hour markers on a classic 12-hour scale. Carrying on the military-inspired design are the interior set of numbers that finish off the full 24-hour scale, running from 13 to 24. Additional dial text includes the Bulova logo signed to the top half of the dial, making the most of the remaining space. A single line of reference text is found at the bottom half, referencing the automatic Miyota movement within, which we'll talk about in a moment. Black cathedral hands are entirely filled with luminous material, which glow bright green. The lume on the hands does pop more than the dial lume plots, providing better than average legibility in poor lighting conditions, but the other plots along the outside of the dial are going to leave quite a bit to be desired. The lume here is not the greatest feature that this watch has going for it, but will be able to assist when needed. As I mentioned earlier, protecting the dial is a large dome mineral crystal, adding to the Hack's military field watch chops. It's nice to have a lighter dial color in a field watch collection, which are usually just made of the matte black dials that you're going to see everywhere. However, here the choice of this ivory just gives the watch a bit more versatility in a modern context, while still having some vintage cream patina flair to it. So flipping this watch over, we find a solid screw down case back, which normally would be covered up by the NATO strap looping it through the spring bars, but when taking a closer look, it covers up the Miyota 82S0 43A automatic movement, which operates at 21,600 vibrations per hour or 3 hertz and a power reserve of 42 hours on a full wind, and is also equipped with the hacking seconds feature, giving the hack its name. Now, when looking at this price range of, say, sub $300, the typical watches that you're going to be seeing from a mechanical perspective are going to be powered by either some entry-level Seiko calibers, but most likely is going to be a Miyota caliber on the inside. These 8 series of movements usually being the ones that are going to inhabit them. Now, these really are those entry-level, reliable mechanical movements that are going to be used by a variety of manufacturers out there. When it comes to Bulova and their positioning, they're a member of the Citizen Watch Group, just like Miyota as a manufacturer of movements. So there's some increased upside there in getting these movements and having some nice ability to offer them in different ranges. But this is a pretty standard and traditional type of movement to find in this price range. Nice to see the hacking seconds feature, which is not present in every Miyota movement out there. The majority do not feature it. In terms of a range of deviation for accuracy, out of the box is rated at -20 to +40 seconds a day as advertised. This one was running closer to around +11 seconds a day. So just kind of keep in mind in context to what really could be possible with these movements, but also keep in mind that the range of deviation for these are entry-level mechanical movements. If you want the optimal accuracy, then I would just go for a quartz movement or a watch powered by one. But overall, very reliable, easy to regulate movement if you ever wanted to do it yourself, and should give you quite a bit of peace of mind and kind of match the utility that's going to be presented with the dial. All right, so now to unpack looking at the Bulova Hack Watch. So when looking at the variety of watches in the range of field watches under $500, there are quite a few different options. I think it's important to address maybe what's just above, maybe what's just in the same range. You have some great options from Seiko for a similar price range. And then you also have models from Hamilton for around $500 that are going to be very hard to compete against. Now, this falls short of that in terms of price, but to try to rationalize and maybe look at this watch specifically and what it's offering, looking at the design of this piece, I think this is one of the more faithful as well as just nicely executed designs that are going to be more true to that 1940s field watch design. Something that we throw around a lot when talking about this watch is it kind of has like this Saving Private Ryan type of look and feel with that dial, which I'm a huge fan of. I think these are very attractive looking field watches. They do fall short in some areas. They're not going to deliver everything for the dollar amount. You're not getting a sapphire crystal here. Water resistance might leave quite a bit to be desired for some out there. I think 50 meters, if not 100, would have been amazing for a watch like this. But when it comes to the versatility, the price, and where it falls, I think there's still a compelling reason to look towards this watch. A lot of the Hamilton pieces, as much as I think those are the definitive models in the price range for around $500, they are still more than this, and then they also kind of lean a bit more into a contemporary design format, maybe a little bit less so with the mechanicals, but if you look at the automatics, for example, those are going to definitely look more modern than these. These know their lane, they're heritage-inspired pieces, and they stay true to that, and I think they're one of the more attractive-looking field watches under $500. All right, guys, well, thank you again so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. That really does help out the channel, and I would appreciate that. Also, in addition, if you are in the market for this watch, check it out. It's available on TeddyBaldassarre.com. TeddyBaldassarre.com is a full authorized dealer of all the products we carry. Quick and fast fulfillment, dedicated customer support. We also offer a full factory warranty for all the products that we offer, unlike a lot of other places online. So if something goes wrong, you're going to be covered. In addition to that, we offer price match. If you see one of our watches for cheaper at another authorized dealer, just fill out the form and we'll get in touch with you. And finally, 9 out of every $10 that we generate goes right back on the content that we're creating here, as well as on our main channel. But guys, thank you again so much for watching. Be well, and I will see you all very soon.